Being a parent is one of the hardest jobs I've ever had, but it is the most rewarding. Those skills and just being humbled by becoming a mother has been transferable into my career.
What inspired you to work in healthcare, having come from more of the restaurant background?
Yeah, so after I traveled a lot and moved to different states with my ex-husband, who was going through residency at the time. And so followed him with medical school and then residency. And so I've worked in ag, I've worked in IT, and then I had a career gap, which was I'll never take it back. I'm so glad. I'm so blessed to have had that time and experience. And let me just say that being a parent is one of the hardest jobs I've ever had, hands down, but it is the most rewarding. It's an experience that you can never replace. And really, what it does is it helps you be a leader, it helps you manage multiple tasks, it helps you negotiate very well. Yeah, I mean, I always have Tic Tacs, so I can convince my kids to get in the car, get their shoes.
Yep.
And it really helps you take a pause, take a break, and really think about, is this a big problem or is this something that, we can take a break and move on? Does this need to be addressed right away? And I think those skills and just being humbled by becoming a mother has been transferable into my career. And a lot of people now say, how are you so calm when we have all these fires everywhere? And it's just, I'm used to it because I have a lot of kids with a lot of big emotions, and I can really focus in and hone in on where to put the importance and kind of really triage, where do we need to start? How can we make this more digestible if it's a very complex situation?
Right. Thanks for tuning in to the Healthy Careers Podcast. In 2024, we reached over 32,000 listeners and ranked in the top 15% of all podcasts. We're proud to have SharePro Health as a sponsor and are currently looking for 2 more partners in 2025. If you're looking to connect with healthcare leaders, providers, and innovators, we'd love to spread the word about your service, product, or business. Reach out to me, Maddie, for more details. And I would also think that, and this is no disrespect to physicians and surgeons, but when you are managing the emotions of toddlers who sometimes don't understand why you are doing something, it is very similar to that of when you look at medically inclined and brilliant surgeons who are trying to understand the business or the financial aspects of a business, and even the HR side even further, because that is something that is so foreign to them and it shouldn't be their area of expertise. They shouldn't have to worry about it. And so being able to bridge those knowledge gaps, just the same way that if a neurosurgeon came to me and tried to explain what they were doing, like it would go right over my head because that's not what I'm smart in. That's not what I excel in. That's not my wheelhouse. And so motherhood is the same thing, right? It's explaining to somebody that doesn't understand why you're doing what you're doing and that it is actually for the benefit or you're doing it out of, the outcome is the best option rather than just doing something to do it.
Correct. Yes, I agree.
Awesome. And so when you made that jump, were you excited? Were you petrified? Like, what was the emotions that went through your head when you decided to take that change and become a full-time parent?
Yes, it was hard at first. There was a pretty big adjustment period of what do I do? How do I not lose myself in motherhood? And, try to maintain a piece of who I am and, some of that career driven part of me, and how can I translate that into being a better mother?
And so I would imagine too, when you're going through that, it's kind of like I think about my day to day and how busy I stay. And it's not to say that stay-at-home moms are not busy, because it's anything, they're doing even more. because they can't just leave the house and say, that's not my problem for the next 8 hours, right? Like it is your problem and you have to handle it and they're waiting on your response. But I think about just kind of like that thought process of like, okay, my problems are now new problems. And I don't have like an HR, you can say, hey, I'm going to get to this by the end of the week. There's no like pushing it down the road. Like it is
No, their
20.
needs, yeah, they have, their needs are required to be responded instantaneously, and you better be on your toes.
Yes, exactly. And so when you decided to go back into the workforce, was there a part of you that was nervous about how you would, would you be an attractive hire to employers having seen that gap, on a quote unquote resume? Was there any thought process for you in that? Or was it just like, no, I'm going to go out and prove myself and show how these attributes, pull over into the next role?
It really was that. I had a very good baseline knowledge of my experience and what I'm capable of doing. And I think just being a mother and having those transferable skills to negotiate and walk people through problems caringly was something that was a very good quality that they saw in me. And I'm a single mom, so I'm a doer. If I don't do it, it does not get done. And so there's a lot of times where I don't procrastinate and I hit the ground running. The company that I'm with now, they were